The Frames Per Second podcast. Hey, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Frames Per Second podcast covering your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 3 through 5. So I didn't know they were doing this. This is really interesting, but we'll get into that in a second. My name is Kenneth Beans. Joining me, we have Rod, Mike, and Spike. What up, fellas?
What up, though?
Yep. So I didn't know that they were going to release these in the batches that they're doing. So this is a very interesting release strategy. And I think maybe the idea we were kind of toss this out like people should try this, and not just do episodes 1 and 2. So I'll be curious to see what the results of this are. But I guess my question is, do you guys like that they're doing this? And based on how the storytelling is going, do you think it makes sense for them to drop them in this manner?
This ain't a week-to-week show for me, bro.
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry.
if I liked
Especially after
it,
these.
if I liked the show, then I would love to drop it in batches,
Bruh.
Being that it's not that enjoyable to me, it's like I gotta watch 3 of them. Damn. When Rob put that in, I was hurt. I was like, "What? I gotta watch 2 more." But
I mean, they ain't but 30 minutes. I don't dislike the show. It's just absolutely not a show where if it ends, I'm like, oh, yes, that was amazing. I cannot wait to next week. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I think they probably know. I think they probably realized that. And it was like, you know what, let's just drop 3 of them shits today.
Because the first one was 2, right?
Yeah, first one was 2.
So this is odd. This doesn't even make any logical sense. We drop 2, then we drop 3. Is it gonna be 4 next week?
No, it's 2, 3, 3, and 2.
2, 3, 3, and 2.
Yeah.
This is so fucking weird.
So they took the first 5 and they broke it up into 2 and 3, and then they just doing the reverse for the remaining 5.
So I thought originally that they were trying to finish before Niggerbird, but that's not the case.
It's not gonna happen, yeah.
And then I thought that they were trying to finish before Daredevil.
That may happen. I don't know when Daredevil drops.
I thought it was like 2 weeks from now.
But
maybe not.
But okay. So I like that they're doing this because I'm in agreement with you, and I think there's an opportunity for other shows to take advantage of this. You have to have some type of self-awareness to know you don't have a weekly show. You don't have an appointment sitting show. This is not one of those. The cliffhangers are not good enough to make you be like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? I think giving us 2 to 3 episodes, well, in this particular instance, the batches that they're giving us, you get a chance to watch like it through and through and get a good feeling of the show and then move on. So I like the strategy. I think it's good and it's interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil is March 4th. So I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure this is done. Because if it's you said 2, 3, 3, 2? 3, 3, 2. Yep. So it's gonna end the week before Daredevil.
Okay.
How many more episodes left?
Just 5. Yeah, so 3 more next week, and then 2 more after that. So only 2 more weeks left. Yeah.
What if did you see that release schedule?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Because I was thinking if they were actually trying to do it before the new Captain America movie.
Yeah, because I was confused when it popped up and it was like 3, and then it said like an hour 30 something. I was like, 3 episodes? What the hell is going on? So I looked. And I was like, okay. All right. Well, anyway.
I do feel like they're trying to do something before Captain America, though. I feel like they're trying to reveal something before that.
But this world isn't connected to that, though.
I know we're going to get there, but, they're talking about Civil War times in this.
But it's an alternate universe, so I think certain events have to happen.
And even in our universe, Civil War has been done.
Yeah.
True.
I'm pretty sure I read Daredevil and I got confused and thought Niggerbird for whatever reason. But I think it was always we're trying to finish before Daredevil.
But either way, I think there are things that happen where there's not a lot to happen. So I think we can, get through this, not in a disrespectful manner to the show, but, it's just what we got. So we ended with, the cliffhanger that Norman knows that he's Spider-Man. And we had this whole conversation taking place about about that. We see that Peter is not very good at lying. I don't think this version of Peter is good at any fucking thing. No, he's not. And you know, I think, you know, what they call like year one, so he's still learning things out. But yeah, this Peter's a fucking idiot, bro. But yeah, so it seems like in this alternate universe, Norman Osborn will be the mentor in this universe. We know that he eventually should turn into Green Goblin. He's wearing the green and stuff like that. But when I'm watching it, knowing where he eventually goes, like, do you guys feel like you can trust him still? Do you think he's trustworthy?
I mean, I feel.
I was just gonna say, to me, not being a avid Marvel person, he comes off as trustworthy. Like that, I don't know if they're fooling me, as far as, because y'all know what he ends up being. Like, but in the sense of him helping him and want to give him money and upgrading his suit, and then when he was in trouble, telling him how to figure out how to beat those two people that he was fighting, I felt like he was trustworthy.
I think there's a side of Osborn.
Yeah, Norman
Osborn that is somewhat trying to do the right thing, because then he battled with the Green Goblin. That was like an alter ego type of thing, right? That wasn't they were battling with one another, right?
Mm.
At least in the movie. I don't know if that was in the comic. I can't remember.
I feel like the Green Goblin overtook him. That identity overtook him.
Yeah, there was a moment
yeah.
in the movie. I do remember.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a genuine interest in the fact that he's like this smart ass kid, you know, that's up on technology and all that. So I think it's a genuine interest of him trying to mold him, right? And I think it's a genuine interest of him trying to, you know, fight crime and all this other things. So I don't know when that shift is going to happen, but right now I feel like he's trustworthy.
Mike, do you feel the same way? Because we found out that his whole interest in finding who he was somewhat self-serving, because he saved Harry. Mm-hmm. And that's when he was like, okay, I got to know who this guy is.
I don't trust Norman Osborn one bit. And if they did try to make him a good guy, this would be real weird. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't trust him. I don't know why he's using Peter. I don't know if he's trying to, you know, groom him to be something else. But I certainly don't think that he's interested in helping him solve crime, because all the money that Norman Osborn has, it seems like he would have already tried to create something to help stop crime. Why is he only interested after he sees him save, the bus or whatever, and then he sees him save his son, and he's like, oh, I need to figure out who this is. So no, I think there's something weird and nefarious going on with him.
They also had so that was the opening scene. Then they had another meeting at the restaurant where he just bought out the restaurant. You see that Peter's a good guy in this universe because he resigned from Oscorp, so he declined his partnership with being the man in the chair. He got paid $1,000 just for what? How many days?
A day, 1 day.
Bro, was that? I don't know. I don't know
Y'all
if he
don't
made
make
the
that?
right call, huh?
You don't make that?
Nah.
See, everybody's looking at you crazy, but Rod. You saw Rod look away.
And it was crazy because I'm like, bro, because I thought he was gonna change his mind. Because especially when he went home and saw that,
Bro,
the family was struggling.
It wouldn't even took that. Like, wait, what? 1,000 for a day?
Hey, Mike, you notice he didn't tell Mary Jane he got that check.
Hell no. He would have bought a new bike. He took Nico out.
He's like, I brought home some leftovers.
He's like, yeah. I bought you a doggy bag.
I know, he didn't even get her like a plate. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could have got her a plate, bro.
Oh,
and we get a plate to go. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he gave her a leftover. He's like, you ever had scallops?
I did tonight. You should taste a couple of these. They're all cold.
It's too more. You know what I'm saying?
I bit off it, but it's cool.
I know. Oh my God, you foul as shit.
And he ate good too.
He did. He ate like 4 plates of food.
Yeah, bro, he went crazy. He said, "I'll just get some water." He saw those ticket prices. He was like, "Don't worry about Peter, I got it." He was like, "Shit."
I mean, if you insist,
right?
You know.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to, because Peter's always like broke, you know, in whatever universe. So it fits. But the other person that's broke is the black guy, Lonnie. They had to do my man Lonnie like that, bro. Like, they were just trying to celebrate. You know, and I like Peter was like, nah, Lonnie, you did your fair share. And he was like, man, I got you. I'm gonna buy lunch.
This was Sopranos double racism.
It kind of was, man.
Like what
Was it though?
Yes.
Only reason I asked is because Peter was broke too. That's the only reason I asked.
But they make it endearing that Peter's broke.
Yeah.
They make it sad and depressing that Lonnie is broke.
Facts.
Like he knew he didn't have no fucking money on that
He
card.
traumatizing broke. It's like
Exactly.
bro, what?
Peter is like it's funny that he's broke. Like, oh, good little broke white boy.
It is. They
because
do.
white
Yeah,
people
you're
aren't
right.
supposed to be broke. But Lonnie, with his fresh braids that he just got done,
Mm.
and he goes and smiling, puts his card up, bro. You knew you didn't have no money.
And then
What
he
are
said,
you
Then he said, I
doing?
forgot I had to chip in on the pizza last night.
That was just an excuse he was making to avoid embarrassment.
But
I
it's
hope.
still embarrassing.
I
How much
hope-
was the
I was
pizza?
gonna say,
He
like,
said,
how
I'll
many-
just take this
How
apple.
many pizzas did he buy? bro?
Right.
Like,
Was
what-
it a gold pizza? What the fuck?
I didn't like it. I did right. I was like, man, is this racist? And then I thought
Yes.
about, but you make a good point. It's like, yeah, the type of brokenness is different,
Yeah, it's
or,
different.
or how
Nah,
they
for sure.
portraying. I was like, damn,
A
bro.
man to buy an apple for lunch.
Bro.
And
Knowing
then, didn't he
hungry.
take half of somebody's sandwich?
Yes.
Like, come on.
Was
man.
it Peter?
Yes.
It was Peter.
Yeah, Peter got $1,000.
Oh,
But he don't know Lonnie's
God.
broke.
I
He
know.
think, Peter's so sweet. He kind of like, people tell you shit and you just take him at face value. But I just don't feel like this is necessary. I know maybe they're not racist, but it's just like, you did a lot of color swapping here. You could have just left Lonnie white
Facts.
or made Lonnie white. You could have just made Lonnie, because I think he might have been black in the books too. You could have just made him white and it wouldn't have been weird optics. But the fact that you made him black, he's broke, he's an athlete. I like that he's smart, but he's also kind of a bitch.
Who?
It's Lonnie.
The football player?
Yeah, the football player.
Why you say that?
We'll get to the episode, but the fight, I was like, bro, this is weird.
Yeah, we'll get there. But I think that we see in Lonnie's whole arc is what this kind of was. But in this one, we found out he had to rush home, and Nico ate the food of Pearl, and she took him home and stuff like that. And we found out that Lonnie's brother joined the gang, and
Jesus, dude.
and that in exchange for his brother, he offered himself up. Did you guys like that?
No,
He did that for his brother.
I didn't. I don't know. I feel like that would have went differently in real life. I know this is a cartoon, but like, how old was his brother? 11 or something like that.
I can't remember. I don't write it
I
down.
don't know. I just don't. I don't like how that played out.
They start him early though.
Mm.
Like 13, 14. Like middle school time.
If his brother wanted to be in the game, which I'm assuming he did,
Mhm.
how would Lonnie go up there and convince him not to be in the game by joining the game?
I had that thought too.
Like this only gonna
ain't-
motivate him to be in the game even more if his brother's in the game. Like it ain't gonna be no swap out if he wanted to be in the game.
But I think his brother could see that Lonnie didn't want to be in the
Yeah.
gang, that the dude made him join the gang.
So you think that he recruited him to get Lonnie?
No.
Mm-mm.
But if you were asking why would this be a deterrent
Yeah.
for Lonnie's little brother to join the gang, maybe it would be a deterrent because he sees like he didn't even give my brother an opportunity. He just said you're part of. I don't know.
No, I
don't
get you.
know. I don't want to watch Spider-Man and think about gang politics. I just
Yeah. So Lonnie's in the game, so you can see the beginning of this arc for him. For those of us that know who Lonnie eventually turns into. And the other thing we got is a fight. Two criminals get gear in exchange for something. They're being funded by somebody who we eventually found out later. But yeah, I think this whole fight was just to kind of force this mentorship between Norman and Peter because Peter needed a lot of help. Because that fight wasn't working out for him, Spike, at all.
They kicked Peter ass.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they did. So yeah, but it was kind of creepy. Normal was hacking into his stuff, bro. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, but you guys like how I guess this mentorship thing developed? Did it seem natural that he realized that he could use Norman's help when he was getting his ass kicked by them people?
That's what I'm saying. Is the relationship seems genuine right now to me. Not thinking about him as Green Goblin, but as the businessman. It seemed pretty genuine to me. So, but yeah, it was creepy that he tapped in it from a nearby satellite. But they had to sell that somehow and whatnot. But yeah, I liked this part. I didn't like the part of him changing all the outfits and all that shit.
That's next episode.
Yeah, that's the next episode.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that came yet. But yeah, also this is the one where he was fighting he told them how to beat them because of the energy surge thing. Yeah, I got you.
And then you had the little 8 thing at the end of it. That was supposed to be the cliffhanger on the gear.
Which yeah, I don't know. That was fine. It was like, oh, y'all are putting a lot of villains in this. That's cool.
But don't they normally though? They normally do. It's usually like 3 or 4
in
villains
Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, it's usually.
Well, they have a couple.
Yeah, it's usually like 3 or 4.
But they don't really do anything. Like even in the Tom Holland Spider-Mans, yeah, we had Shocker pop up, but he was like killed. They referenced Scorpion. He didn't really do anything. But it's like, I'm saying like y'all are showing him fighting a lot of different villains in this show.
These are low level guys though.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. The speedy guy who I forget his name already. That's who he was fighting in this episode.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The speedy guy
and his girlfriend with the.
Now the girl, she was in the books. I can't remember her name either. But she had like, she's more brutal in the book. She had like claws or whatever on her arms. But I wasn't really that entertained by this fight scene. I think we kind of needed to see Peter doing a little bit of this on his own before getting Norman. Because now I'm looking at Peter like, you just getting your ass whooped for no damn reason. Man. Because these guys aren't even like that cool, and they're beating the shit out of you.
He's like,
you around.
He was like, do that shit again while I'm paying attention. I was like, God damn. It's like, do that little web shit now.
Web shit.
But no, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, he's definitely not very good at it. But yeah, I would have preferred to see him struggle a little bit more. But we're on an accelerated storytelling timeline, so it is what it is. Which moves us to episode 4. Peter's giving a terrible. Huh?
I don't mind him figuring it out right now. Like especially with just being this little in it. Like I've always liked that about. I think it was the Andrew Garfield one, Spider-Man, that he didn't like know how to do it like that off top. So I've always enjoyed them trying to learn it as they go.
I just wish we had more of that before Norman Osborn was introduced.
I get you. I get that.
But yeah, Ken's right. It is an accelerated story time, so it's not like they can spend all day on this. So yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then episode 4, that is where we get the stuff you were talking about earlier. So it opens with Peter giving a speech. He's awful at it, and then Norman calls a meeting with Peter, and then he runs into Harry. So which was a little bit of foreshadowing. And I think when that moment I was like, damn, man, is Harry going to find out how? But during their whole meeting, we see that the Avengers are beefing over the Sokovian Accords. And Norman is working on costumes. So Peter has a whole design, which we saw. But Rod, you brought it up earlier.
Yes.
About the costumes.
Yeah.
You don't like any of this.
This was so uninteresting to me. Like it was just, I understand how they thought it was gonna be. Maybe y'all thought different, but for me, it fell flat. I was like, what are we doing? I don't. This just seemed very redundant. Unless there's like some nuggets in there that, oh man, that's that costume from there. That I didn't really care.
Nope, I'm with you.
Same.
And I knew where the suits came from, and I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of this. Like, just fucking show me Spider-Man.
Right.
And then I assumed that's why they did 3 episodes, because they knew that 4 was there. And I was like, y'all knew y'all couldn't end this shit on episode 4, because this shit was bad.
It was so bad. Having a malfunction with the horn. Like, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. And it's like, y'all need to give me a little bit more. I know this is asking a lot of a comic book cartoon, but y'all need to give me a little bit more with Norman Osborn. Yeah. Like, I guess we'll get there at some point.
They made him goofy too in those moments, I think.
I didn't really get goofy from him. I got more so he thought that this was going to work with Peter, but it didn't. But at the same time, I was like, well, why are you why do you have all these costumes? And why are, if you know he's Spider-Man, why are you putting him in a fucking Hornet costume? Spiders don't change into Hornets. Like, what? Why are you making him fly
It just
around?
made no sense.
It just didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, I know these costumes are in the books, but in this storyline, I didn't understand what the fuck he was doing. It just seems stupid.
So it wasn't just me.
No.
I thought it was something that I was missing.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, bro.
I knew it was probably like references to stuff that I'm not aware of. I pretty much gathered that, but it just wasn't interesting.
So
It didn't make it interesting at all.
Yeah, and I think they were trying to be funny.
Yeah, that was the part.
the
You're
funny
trying to
didn't
be
land.
funny. Yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, it didn't.
Well, the only funny that did land is when, I can't remember what he was doing, but when he was in that black costume with the claws, and he reached up and he scratched the tree, and the little girl screamed. I thought that was kind of funny,
did
but
not.
at the same time, it was like, well, why would you do that?
Right.
Why
I'm
are you?
like,
Why
what
would
is
you? Why would
happening?
you just reach up and scratch a tree like that for what?
Right.
Yeah, and the way they would do it, the way they did the music and stuff to make it seem like it was a threat.
Yeah, because I
And
thought it was a
just,
villain. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
is the Black Panther here at first? I was like, whose black ass arm with claws is that? But
yeah.
no, this episode did not land.
Yeah, it was weird, the different costumes, even when they tried to use Norman's scientific expertise in trialing out explaining that's his process. It still didn't make much sense because even Peter was like, bro, like, I got bit by a spider. Like, I
Yeah.
should be, why am I a wasp?
I'm a Spider-Man.
Right. A bat, or the one with the cape, which that was in Incredibles about why you should never have cape.
Why you should never have a
Why
cape?
should-
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I wasn't happy with it. Like, I felt like they did all this to kind of set up the big reveal moment when he finally got the white and black costume, which, was in the video games and that I know it from as well. And it was supposed to be this big moment that they were trying to build up to. But yeah, I'm with you guys. I just thought it was goofy. So it didn't work for me.
Yeah. It was white and blue, right? It wasn't white and black. That was a blue.
It probably was blue.
Are Batman and Superman the only two with capes?
Nah,
So
No.
plenty
Yeah.
of people got capes.
Yeah.
Because Thor has a cape, right? He got, yeah.
Yeah.
Even Black Panther had a cape for a minute in the comics.
Mhm.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The cape thing sort of started to become
I
a
remember
common
it,
sense thing. As we've evolved as a society along with superheroes, people are like, man, this is stupid. That's what I think. But anyway, we see Lonnie also in this one. Lonnie's a good guy, bro. He gave his girl flowers for taking him. We get introduced to the Scorpions. Lonnie's sitting there, Spike. He just trying to educate himself, reading his books. And Big Don was like, no, what are you doing? Get your goofy ass up with all that reading and shit. So he gives him an assignment to go to the package store to La Frescas. And that's when he run into the Scorpions and stuff like that. He's chased. And of course, there's no way they should have called Lonnie, and they didn't. It's because he's an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
But we found out Carmelo Black is the person that he was running to, which is like a lieutenant or whatever. And Matt Gargan is the leader of the Scorpion, who has two different color eyes. So again, like the thing I was asking myself, now we're seeing this whole Scorpion thing going. Do you guys like how Lonnie ultimately ended up manipulating, or thoughts on Lonnie manipulating him into staying into the game for protection? Because he was like, the Scorpions now know who you are, and you can come back and you can go out, but eventually they're going to work their way to get you.
You mean Big Don or whatever?
Big Don, manipulated Lonnie, because Lonnie was upset. Lonnie talked back a lot. He talked a lot of shit to Big Don. He gives a lot of pushback to Big Don, bro. But
I'm just not interested in this storyline, if I'm being honest.
yeah,
This isn't sucking me in. It's just, I don't know. Again, I didn't pick up Spider-Man so I could watch Bloods and Crips and shit. This is only reason that's keeping me slightly interested is because these little nuggets they're dropping in where it's like, we know we're going to get Scorpion at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed a couple other people we'll get to, but clearly they're working up to the Sinister Six. So that's interesting, but nah, it's watching Big Dom manipulating Lonnie to stay in a gang. I just don't care about this.
I did like, and I don't know if I like this for Spider-Man, but I did like the how the, why they said gangs were founded. You know what I'm saying, to protect neighborhoods, and I feel like Big Don kind of educated on that type of stuff. It wasn't just about just being violent and things like that. It's about more so protecting the neighborhood from people that want to run it or take it over. So you got to put people in place in order to, keep a strong hold on, and like you were saying, protecting your neighborhood. Because if they don't, they'll come in here and run over you. So I did like the fact that he was putting that messaging out there, as another light of gang mentality.
Spike, any thoughts you?
I'm like Mike. I didn't tune into this to see the Bloods and the Warriors or whatever it may be. So now I don't know. They kind of been heavy handed with it, but y'all know where it's going essentially. But for me, being like not as well versed on it, it makes even less sense since I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, it's a villain arc or an origin story for Lonnie, and yeah, I'm like, this is probably the least interesting part of it for me as well.
I don't like that it's y'all saying that he's gonna turn Lonnie into a villain, that Tombstone guy or whatever.
Yeah, because he calls him Tombstone.
Yeah, I didn't know Tombstone was a villain or not. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like this telling of the story, the origin story of a villain from a kid that came from poverty or whatever. Now he's gonna end up being a villain. Like,
well, they might not do that though.
Okay, yeah,
you never know.
I wouldn't like that. If this is the origin story of that, him being in a gang and all that shit. It just put a negative light on that type of shit.
Yeah, I guess we could stay and just go ahead and close out Lonnie's arc in these episodes. So you mentioned the fight earlier. Yeah. So real quickly, we see that Lonnie is struggling at school. He get to talking to by the coach, and everybody's happy to see him. He's about to go to practice, but all the situation and shit that went down with the Scorpions is coming back. Now he has to skip practice to go in this fight because Big Don threatened him. And then we get to the fight. Man. And that star athlete Spike
didn't come out.
Hey, man, we died. It came out.
Yeah, he was running real well. And he was dodging like an expert.
I was like, what? And then my thing is, I was like, and then he saved Big Don's life, which I like. You have that much of an allegiance to him, like, already? You don't even fuck with him.
No, he made you be in this gang. Why would you save his life? Just let him die.
Right.
And then you can leave the gang. Maybe,
yeah. Maybe the Matt Gargan guy assumes territory of everybody and keeps everybody there. I don't know, but it was just like, I don't know.
That's because he sold them on the protection and the purpose of the gang. It's not necessarily to harm people. It's more so to protect turf and neighborhood. That's why I pointed that out. So I think that's, I think he took heed to that a little bit.
That's corny to me.
Really?
Yes.
For like somebody corny. That's not even from your community to try to come in and take over your community?
No. Oh, okay. For them to try to act like he's in a gang for some noble reason. That's bullshit. Because if that's the case, why are you making Lonnie join? This is nonsense. It's not like this is the Black Panthers.
Yeah, I think it was definitely more manipulation.
Yeah.
It was manipulation. I just like the the flip side of it. Because gang members will say that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but do you believe them? When, like, come on.
It depends.
It depends on the gang member, but like, in this, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm Big Don and I'm in a gang and I'm gonna make you be in my gang because your little brother promised. Like, no, this is stupid. If y'all were really just trying to protect the community, he's a fucking child. You let him leave. This is stupid.
That's where I was.
So that's why I don't really like this, because I'm with you. I do like the idea of them pushing the fact that, like, gangs were not just created because they wanted to shoot each other. They were created because they wanted to protect their own neighborhoods. Yeah. I get that. This show is not helping the perception of gangs. No. Because it's just like, nah, y'all are just kind of being just gangs.
Right.
You know? Like, it's silly.
And, like, a gang wouldn't recruit a star athlete either. Like that's a thing in the hood.
They
for
would,
real.
they
Like,
would.
because they want you to get out.
yeah, the sports people
right.
stay over there. Like we doing bad shit over here. We want you
Right.
to
Like
be
he
part
said,
of
he
the
blowing
game.
bets off.
Yeah,
of him and shit.
exactly.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm not really liking this storyline. It's silly.
Yeah, it's conflicting. It's a very conflicting storyline.
A white person wrote this, Rod.
Yes.
Guaranteed. A white person named Chad wrote this.
Facts.
They did not consult actual gang members. Because even the way the gang members act, like,
Yeah.
yup, that's what he said, dog. It's like, stop.
And the comic relief, you're gonna eat that?
Yeah,
the
it's too
guy was
much.
just like, wow, that's okay. But anyway, so we say Big Don. So now he's his big hero, and he gets his name. First it was Gravedigger, and then it was like Tombstone. And you see Lonnie is like, yo, like this is cool. Like he likes it. So now I'm like, man. And Mac Gargan, the leader of the Scorpions, said we're gonna get revenge. So I'm thinking that part of the revenge is gonna be how Tombstone turned into Tombstone.
That's what I think. I think that probably what's going to happen is they end up accidentally killing his brother or something, or his girlfriend, and then that's going to cause him to actually become Tombstone. But in the comics, Tombstone has like real strength. So I'm wondering, and I can't remember exactly how he got it, unfortunately, because I'm old. But I wonder if they're going to do something with that. Like, how is Lonnie going to get to the point where he's so strong as Tombstone, he can actually beat the shit out of Spider-Man?
I'm wondering if, because they're using technology
I thought
a
that
lot.
too, and I hope they don't do that.
Yeah. Because they did that in My Adventures of Superman, where people they were fighting had a lot of technology and technological enhancements. But they're doing a lot in here too, so it may be how they find a way to do it.
That would piss me off because everything is fucking Iron Man. I'm like, I'm over Iron Man. The dopest shit about Tombstone was he was just this big motherfucker that you couldn't beat. Like, he had this strength. If they just give him some fucking bracelets or something, or some hand gloves that he can just punch people with, it's lame. I don't need him to have those Doc Ock gadgets. Just let him be like a big, strong motherfucker that can fight.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Doc Ock was the big reveal at the end of episode 4.
I like that.
Yeah, we saw that's why the little 8 sign was there or whatever.
Now that's stupid.
What?
Why would you put your logo on?
Well, Stark
I mean, comic books always do that though.
Yeah,
But it was like, that
yeah.
was dumb. Why'd you do that?
Stark brands this stuff.
Yeah, but he's not. He's building weapons for America to fight other folks.
True.
He's not building shit that's gonna be in the hood somewhere.
Yeah. So we all talked about how the costume thing was a waste of time.
Oh wait, pause real quick.
Uh-huh.
I just realized that you're right. That is why he's doing it, because he idolizes Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's
He
jealous.
thinks he should be better than him.
Yep.
And Tony Stark brands his stuff, so that's why he's branding his own stuff.
Yeah, it was Norman.
That makes
Stark.
complete sense.
And did he mention
He
Brooke
mentioned
Banner
Bruce
too?
Banner. Yep.
Yep.
I didn't even put that together. That's why he's putting his brand on it. There you go.
So we talked about how the costume was a waste of time, but we get the reveal that this is why I say this Peter is stupid.
He is stupid.
Because
Oh, it's
y'all,
pissed me off.
I know I saw Harry sitting there
Bruh.
with his dad. There's no way he should not have seen.
Facts.
He just came swinging in though.
Nah, Rod, come on, man. Don't cap the same on this one.
No, this is bad writing.
Bro,
This is bad
it's villains and bad guys have like windows,
Yeah,
big ass windows. Like how did he not see him?
I don't know.
And you're Spider-Man.
the senses, the Spidey senses.
You're tingled and be like, hey, bro, somebody else is in here. Maybe I shouldn't just swing here and start talking.
And taking my mask off.
I'm fine with Harry figuring out that he's Spider-Man because that also happens.
Yeah.
I just wish they did it in a cooler way because I think they thought this was going to be funny.
This was
and
too
cute.
obvious.
Osborn
It
was
way
like-
too obvious.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on,
didn't dig
man.
this. I didn't dig this.
Oh my god, it just felt cheap.
It was
I'm like,
real
what
cheap.
are y'all doing?
It was real cheap.
Just so he can eventually become the man in the chair or a dude in the chair, as he called it. You know, I was just like, oh man, I wasn't a fan of that. I didn't like that. But nevertheless, they were not friends, but then they developed a friendship over Captain America or something like that.
Yeah, they both love Captain America.
Yeah. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, yeah, and also just going back to episode 4 real quick. we learn more stuff about the universe, that there was an invasion in that universe. We saw something about the Hulk and a lot of things that some definitely parallels to Wakanda. There was an explosion with the Wakanda. Captain Iron Man, of course, are beefing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they showed that Norman Osborn knows him.
Yeah.
Or knew him, I guess.
Yeah.
You knew who?
T'Chaka. There was a picture of them together.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's
I
like right
missed that.
beside the one with him and Captain America.
Interesting.
Yeah, two black people.
I mean, he had one with Cap.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, one with Captain America, he had one with Captain Africa.
Captain Africa. So anyway, the last episode is Mila. So you had the whole. I didn't really get into this, but there was a big fight where he had to fight Mila, Misarak, or whatever. But they broke in some equipment, stole the equipment. That was a big police chase, and Spider-Man went to help them. But all of that with the robbery, and he was testing out the new suit and stuff like that. Any thoughts on the newer suit, the actual settling on the suit?
I thought it was interesting that they put it in the intro. The new suit is in the intro. Going, it was in this intro of this show.
Oh, I skipped the intro.
And I was going to, but I was curious to see
Yeah.
if they're changing things as it happens.
That's dope.
Or whatever. So yeah, it looked like they're changing little things as it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because the reason why I did it is because of X-Men in 97. X-Men 97, they were changing things as things, happen.
Were you guys surprised it wasn't the OG suit?
I don't think we're there yet. I know they mentioned it, him and
He had the drawing.
Yeah.
of it.
he had the drawing of it, but then
That's why I was surprised.
yeah, it hasn't come yet because him and the son was talking about it. He said I think we should add some color to it.
Yeah, the red and blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think this suit happens later in the books, so I think that's why I was a little bit surprised, but it wasn't a big deal. It's an ugly ass suit. I never liked it, even in the books. I thought it was stupid looking.
I don't like it either.
It's just all
It
white.
reminded me of the Captain America.
All white
suit.
look crazy.
You don't like what?
I said it looked crazy. I didn't like it at all.
Nah, you don't like a spider. You look like I don't know, like a lice. I don't know what other bug is bright white.
It was
like
better
that.
than the other ones though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But shit.
Well, yeah, Norma was like, all right, man, yeah, you were right. So I should have listened to you, so yeah, here's your suit. Yeah, Milo was wrong for dipping out on friends, but she did come back and rescue them and free them. And then you have this whole big fight between her and the big guy was there. Is he gonna be the Rhino?
Yes, one of them is Rhino and the other one is Chameleon. I don't know who the two women are because I didn't recognize their names, but I knew Rhino's name and I knew Chameleon's name.
Rhino's the big guy.
Yeah.
Yes,
The same Rhino from the movie.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then the woman was, I don't know who the fuck she is with the fucking unicorn thing on. Y'all can get her the fuck out of here, bro. Get her the fuck out of here.
She was strong as shit though.
I know, but get her the fuck out of here.
She fucked Peter up.
She
though.
sure did, but you can still get her the fuck out of here. I didn't like her one bit, old China looking ass chick. And she over here just beating his ass and she could shoot lasers out of her fucking forehead. I was like, this is dumb. Yeah, this wasn't great to me. And the fight scene really wasn't all that great. I don't know, man. I was feeling the first 2 episodes. I'm falling off a little bit.
Yeah, but Spider-Man got blasted.
Oh, he was saving
out,
old
man.
dude?
Yeah, when he was saving Rhino dude, he was out cold, bro.
Yeah, and then she was just squeezing them. Now, that was a little... so she doesn't have superhuman strength.
They made it seem like she did.
She's
That's
just strong.
I was
I
like,
think she's just strong. She just body builds. It looks like.
She was crushing him.
Yeah, she looked like she was crushing nigga. Especially a nigga like him.
Oh yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Hey, if he dies, he dies.
I think I would just prefer better villains in this show. I think is my issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
They starting off with the low level is what it seemed like.
It's
Like
too
Ken
low.
was saying at first,
It's too low.
and he said it's too low.
because he wouldn't beat any of the guys anyway.
No,
He
it's
don't
not
know.
about like strength and shit. Like, give me somebody that's actually cool and entertaining to watch fight.
Yeah, I don't think they're there yet.
This chick is it's not chick, sorry, but this woman is not entertaining to watch fight. It's just like I'm a big swole ass
He called her China.
Gina Carano looking ass woman with a helmet that shoots lasers out of it. It's just like I don't really care about that.
None of them have been interesting villains. I do agree with you there. I think even some of even the fights, I think because of the villains haven't been all that interesting either. But we're just kind of moving along with him, and it's just an alternate universe. But
Yeah, he's clearly not ready for the big villains yet.
We're not. Yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah,
big villains. Give me somebody that's Chameleon's not a fucking strong villain,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have preferred watching him fight Spider-Man because at least this might be a little more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know who this woman is with the unicorn helmet. I don't know who she is, but it just wasn't entertaining to watch.
Agree.
yeah. Well, anyway, so he didn't really win the fight.
No, dude saved him.
Yeah. He didn't even win the fight. So yeah, he lost that one. But
I like seeing him get beat up. I do. I like seeing him get beat up, but it's just, I don't know. Get beat up by somebody cooler than a bodybuilder with a helmet.
yeah. Well, anyway, so after that, Nico doesn't like the fact that he's friends with Harry, but at some point, Peter's superhero life will interfere with his personal life, and we saw some overlap at the end of this episode when he showed up to the movies. And I'm glad he was able to make the movie in time, because I hate when they kind of do that. We're like, oh, I missed the movie. They create this sort of fake tension. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I should have been there, blah, blah, blah. I'm glad he was able to make the movie. I did not expect Harry to show up. I thought he was just going to swing to the movie and stuff, because Nico doesn't like Harry, and I thought she was going to bounce. So his worlds are starting to collide, because she's always railing against capitalism and the rich and stuff like that, and now she has to go to the movie with him. He's going to treat everybody and stuff like that. So, so yeah. But I don't know. Any thoughts on that final scene when he showed up and she didn't even shake his hand and shit like that?
No.
Okay.
I was like, Nico's cold. That's really rude. Damn. But I think Peter's just trying to be the nice guy and have everybody be friends.
Yeah.
Because he likes Harry, he likes Nico, and he's like, well, there's no reason they can't be friends. But I know Nico becomes somebody in the books. I've intentionally tried to not look too deep into it, but I know she's some sort of comic book character. So I guess this is kind of her arc, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, then of course, we end with Doc Ock, and so we'll see where he goes. But they got 5 episodes, so they have to move that fast. But at some point, he's gonna have to have the arms, and then I guess all of these different like equipment that he have will. I couldn't think of the name, but the Sinister Six is what. That's the group he was part of. I was Wrecking Crew was what I was thinking about with one of the guys. But yeah,
Wrecking Crew was Daredevil, wasn't it?
he fought Spider-Man. It was
okay.
it was Wrecking Ball and somebody else with the little crowbar or whatever. But either way I go, yeah, Sinister Six is the one. So and I guess which would be interesting, seeing how that plays out. But I don't know. But yeah, Doc Ock is the man behind the tech. And how soon do you guys think before we see him become?
Well, they already ruined this, which I don't know why the writer said anything. He was like, "Oh, he's not going to actually fight Spider-Man until next season."
Oh,
It's like, why are you telling us that?
Well, he said
okay.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Isn't it? Oh, I guess I shouldn't have told y'all that. Then.
Nah, that's fine. So I guess he's just gonna continue fighting these nobodies.
I think that maybe they'll move the Green Goblin storyline up, and maybe this whole thing will end with him having to fight Green Goblin.
I think they need more time for that.
I think they do too, but
Yeah.
the fact that they moved Doc Ock back to season 2, who else is going to be the big bad here? Because we haven't seen anybody else introduced. It cannot be Gina Carano with the helmet. It can't be that. She's not a compelling enough villain.
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. Because if with that reveal, then who would be the major villain for him to fight? Or is this just all for Spider-Man just to learn how to do what he do?
Maybe.
And then to get at some point maybe the blue suit at the end. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's gonna have to relinquish the white suit once this is over, because it's Ned's suit, not Ned. What's his name? What's the dad? The fake ass Elon Musk. What's his name? Norman. Jesus. Yeah, I think that he'll have to just give up the white suit by the end of this season anyway and get the blue one. But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know who the major villain could be. Maybe they just do a major villain reveal to get the season, just to set up excitement for season 2. But they already told us it's Doc Ock, so maybe they have multiple ones. But
they just said he's not going to fight Doc Ock until the second season. They didn't even say he's the main villain. Maybe they'll move up the Tombstone storyline. Maybe this season will have to end with him having to fight Tombstone. I don't know.
That would make sense. Because that was moving along pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening in the final 2 episodes. But yeah, I think he's still going to fight a bunch of randos that will eventually possibly turn into villains in his universe, and then we'll be off and racing for 3 seasons total so far, I think. So they got time, and I think just knowing that guarantee, they got that, they got time to kind of build this stuff up.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see Norman turn in season 2, and then season 3 is their end of their mentorship, friendship, partnership, and then they'll become, enemies and fight. So it's the natural order of things in the Spider Universe.
And then when are we going to get Harry becoming the villain then?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, they have to do all this stuff pretty quickly, depending on what stories they want to tell. So, but either way it go, I'm glad they are doing it in batches. I think it helps with covering it. Definitely helps with the storytelling. Just gives you a lot more to talk about, and yeah. So, any other thoughts before we get out of there?
No.
It's fine.
You're not fucking with the Spike?
No. X-Men 97 was like good. And I that's kind of what I came in expecting since we were reviewing it. But since I'm watching the episode, I'm like, this is just.
What is it about? I know we gotta go, but I'll ask you next week.
All right.
All right, man.
I still think it looks good. I still like the
shot.
style.
I liked it better this week.
Yeah, I could see it more like what you were saying since you mentioned it too.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, but the story's lacking a little bit.
The story's definitely lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it there, man. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.